JessConstantino, yeah.
Hello, my beautiful YouTube family. Welcome back to my channel. My name is JessConstantino, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about my losing my vision and how terrifying it is for me. I want to do this not because I want to complain to you guys, because I am very much about being hopeful and staying positive, but I also want to be a sounding board for yes maybe some of you out there who are going through a similar process of losing your vision, and how scary it might be for you, or the feelings that I have could resonate in some of you and make you feel like you're a little less alone in this. Because to be truthful, I feel very alone. So this might be a very rambly video, and I apologize for that, and I hope y'all will stick with me for it. But I really do hope that I can help others out there who are going through the same struggle that I am going through. So for those of you who don't know, I was born with a very rare eye condition called aniridia. And because of this, I have basically had several eye diseases pop up because of it. The main one that affects my right eye is corneal disease. And corneal disease is the process of your cornea deteriorating. So what happens is my cornea sloughs off stem cells, and as it does that, it puts little holes in it. And those holes get covered up by scar tissue, so it's basically like looking through a cloud. But the process of it is also incredibly painful, because what happens is when those stem cells slough off and leave the holes, it leaves like raw spots in my cornea. And those raw spots get irritated by the things that, are in your eye that just are floating around in there, the fluid and the eyelid rubbing against it. And I also have a glaucoma shunt in my right eye, and it's on the right corner of my right eye. And so it is being affected by the stem cells sloughing off. And this is not just happening on the outer surface of my eye. This is happening behind my cornea as well. So the stem cells are sloughing off behind the cornea, and it leaves like a layer of tissue behind the cornea that they call a membrane. And that membrane, as it builds up and gets thicker because of this more stem cells that are sloughing off of it, it gets bigger and more irritated and more inflamed, and it just makes the whole area of my eye incredibly painful. I am in pain 24/7. I can't get rid of it, and it is the worst pain that I have ever experienced in my life. And I have to continue to function on a daily basis. I have to work. I have to take care of a kid. I don't have the option to just lie in bed and be in pain. So that is kind of the makeup of what is going on with the eye. In the last couple months, I have lost my artificial cornea transplant, which is a plastic cornea essentially that they put in my eye. And I got a really bad infection around Christmas time, and on Christmas Eve, I had to have emergency eye surgery where they took my artificial cornea out and replaced it with a donor cornea. And because of my corneal disease, the donor cornea is dying very quickly. And I have to figure out what my next step is. So last week I went to my artificial cornea specialist, and he did say that we are going to try to put a new artificial cornea in it in the next month or two. The problem is that it is a very high risk surgery. I have an 80% chance of going blind just from the surgery itself, which is pretty terrifying in itself. But if it is successful, I could get some vision back. And it won't be a lot of vision, but it will be about the same amount of vision that I had a few months ago before my artificial cornea the first one failed. So this is kind of my last shot at an artificial cornea. If this one doesn't work, I will be blind and it will be permanent.
No, no, no!
And in the last couple months, because my corneal transplant that they put in my eye in Christmas is deteriorating, I have not very much vision. Also, because of the membrane that is forming behind my eye, it apparently reflects the light differently. And that is the best way that I know how to describe it, because that's the way my doctors described it to me. But it causes the light to reflect differently in my eye. So along with that and all the inflammation that's going on in my eye right now, I can't see very well at all through it. So it has just been a really stressful couple of months. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little about that stress. The first aspect of it is the last few months trying to adapt to going from having about 2300 vision, which is seeing about the second line down on the eye chart, to only being able to see hand motion in front of my eye, in front of my face. It has been a huge transition for me. At first, I thought, I have been going up and down with my vision my whole life. I've had some good vision, I've had some bad vision, I've had, and it just has, it's been like a roller coaster ride for me. And I thought it wouldn't be any different. But this is the least amount of vision that I have ever had in my entire life. And it has been a huge change for me, way bigger than I ever expected and ever thought it would be. I cannot see the food on my plate. And so especially when I go out to restaurants, I am like scooping the food off into my lap, which is embarrassing for me, embarrassing for my family, embarrassing for anyone who's with me. I try to keep the food on the plate and keep it so it'll go on my fork with my fingers, which is not very polite or ladylike, but I just don't know how to do it any other way. And it's going to take time for me to adjust and figure out how to work through all this. And I will, of course, share all of that with you guys. I want to document this journey so that you guys know what I'm going through, so that if you're going through it, you can say, hey, I relate to that, or I'm going through that too, or I feel that too. And you won't feel like you're the only one out there struggling with these things. Because I honestly right now feel very alone. I feel like everybody that I know that's blind has been doing it for years, and they all are experts at it. And I'm just in the background complaining and whining, and how do you do this? This is so frustrating. And they're like, yes, I sometimes too also get frustrated. But not just the plate in my food, but when I walk, I'm tripping over a lot more. I'm trying to learn how to rely on my cane a lot more. I always thought that I didn't like to use my cane because of vanity, but I realized in the last couple months that it had nothing to do with how people perceive me. I don't care what people think about me and what I look like. I had a problem trusting myself, relying on an inanimate object to essentially save my life. It's scary to put your hands in the life of a cane, like an inanimate object that, it can't say, yes. I guess that's why I always preferred a guide dog, because I felt safer with a guide dog than I did with a cane. But using the cane, I have had to figure out how to trust it more. And it's a very slow process. I trip more, I run into things more. I don't always get the cane in front of me where I need it to be at the right time. It's a learning process like anything else. Even though I've done these things for years, I have done them with a little bit of vision. And doing that to practically no vision has just been a huge challenge for me. And I don't want to just complain about everything. I just want to kind of lay out some of the problems that I'm having. So I hope you guys don't take that as me just sitting here whining. So I am also, I guess the last big change that I've been trying to adapt to is my phone, trying to figure out how to use my phone. I had always tried to prepare myself a little bit for using voiceover and using accessibility on my phone, but I never needed the voiceover on a permanent basis or more frequent basis. So I didn't rely on it much. I learned how to use the basic gestures, and that was it. And now I can't see to do the non-basic gestures. I can't see to do a lot of the things. And I don't know how to make voiceover work for me all the time. And I get frustrated with it. And so I will turn it off. And because I have a little bit of vision in my left eye, if I get it extremely big where it's like 1 or 2 letters on the screen at a time, and I get it right up next to my eye, I can see it. It's a little blurry, but I can still kind of make out the letters. So what I've been doing is when I get frustrated with the voiceover, I turn the voiceover off, I turn the zoom on my phone on, and I look at it with my left eye, and I read what I'm trying to read, and I say, oh yes, that's what I thought it said. Okay, and then I go back to voiceover and I make sure that what I read is correct, and then I turn the voiceover off and I go back to zoom, and I do this like back and forth, like constantly. And it's exhausting. It's really just exhausting. I get frustrated a lot and I can't do some things. The hardest thing for me with my phone is trying to do numbers, because number pads are all spaced differently in different apps or different places on your phone that you would need a number pad. Whether I'm trying to like transfer money to my bank account, or transfer money to Venmo to pay bills, or put something in a calculator, it's just, the numbers do not work with the accessibility. I can't always do it with Zoom. I can't always do it with voiceover. In fact, I can never figure out how to use a number pad with voiceover. I have not been able to figure that part out yet. And so I end up just trying to guess where the numbers are and where the spacing is. It is just so frustrating because I cannot figure out how to make it work for me all the time, and it takes so much time to do it. It's just very time consuming. I have to have a lot of patience, and I just tend not to have so much patience, and it's becoming very difficult. Also, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I have never had a cameraman. I don't have anybody to do that for me. My son doesn't always shoot things for me because he's a kid and I don't want him to feel like he has a job of taking care of me. So I just try to do it myself, and I don't even know, honestly, if I'm on the screen right now. I hope that I am. I try really hard to make sure that it's like centered to the best of my ability, but I really don't know. I couldn't tell you because I can't see it at all. So I can kind of see like my outline in the frame, but I can't tell if my head's cut off. I can't tell if any part of me is cut off. I really don't know. So if it looks different than my other videos when I had more vision a few months ago, that's why. Because I really just can't see it anymore. I can't tell where I am on the camera. So there you go. So those are kind of like the frustrations that I have been having. On a more emotional level, I'm struggling, you guys. I am so terrified. I don't want to go blind. I don't want to lose the rest of my vision. And it's just, I have been preparing for this my whole life, and even preparing myself and trying to plan for it. You're never prepared. You're never prepared. And I feel like I am standing on the edge of a cliff, and I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to make that leap. I want to be hopeful and I want to be positive, but there's a huge part of me that is just worried. How am I going to adjust? How am I going to adapt? How am I going to make the transition? And how am I going to do it fast enough that I can still function in my day-to-day life? Because I don't have time to sit in bed and feel sorry for myself. I have a business to run. I want to keep my YouTube channel up so that I can continue making content for my audience and for my subscribers, because you guys are so important to me. And I have a kid to raise by myself. I have the help and support of my parents because I live with them and they help me raise my son, which the last few months have been such a huge help. I can't even tell you how huge of a help they have been. I don't know how I would have done these last few months without them. I don't know if I would have made it if I was doing it on my own, completely living in a place by myself with my son and going through this transition. It would have been 10 times harder. The fact that I have my family is just a blessing for me, that they are here and they are supportive and they are trying to adapt with me. And I also have to remember that this is not just a change that I am going through. This is a change that my whole family and my loved ones are going through with me. And it's hard on all of us. It's hard on my parents. It's hard on my son. It's hard on my sister. It's hard on everybody. And everybody has to learn to adapt with me. And I just feel so overwhelmed with the emotions and the adaptations and I don't want to be a burden. I do not want to be a burden on the people that I love. I don't want them to get tired of me needing support and needing help because I just need them so much right now. And to overuse them and make them feel abused or make them feel like I'm a burden on them is just scary because I don't want anybody to give up on me because I'm so scared of doing it alone. It's paralyzing. It's like this paralyzing fear that I can't I can't even express it fully. It's just I get to a point where I'm just so scared with fear that I just want to shut down. And it's horrible. It's such a horrible feeling to want to be helpful and want to be independent and want to be supportive to your family and let them know that you appreciate them and love them and just are so grateful for all of their support. And to not know if any of it is coming across that way or if it's all coming across as I'm selfish and poor me and I feel sorry for myself because I'm going through this. And I just don't know how to deal with it. I am such a planner and a preparer and a problem solver, and I don't feel like I can do any of it right now. I just feel so stuck. And all I can do is take baby steps and one step at a time and try to get through each day as it comes at me. You know, these are the cards that I was dealt, and I have to figure out how to deal with it, how to go through it. And I am a fighter. I have always been a fighter.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
And I know that when I lose my vision, I will figure out how to adjust and I will figure out how to adapt and I will fight back to keep my life the way that I want it. But right now, I'm just not there. I'm not there. And I feel so weak and I feel so scared. And I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do anymore. I feel like shutting down, and I don't want to shut down, and I don't want to seclude people from my life, and I don't want to stop making videos because I'm overwhelmed. But there has been gaps because I just can't do things as quickly. I can't do the editing. I can't check it as fast. I can't get all of the thumbnails and the descriptions and all of these pieces that go into making a YouTube video. It's not just like I record a video and poof, it's uploaded. There's a huge process that goes into it. And I can't do that process as simply as I could a few months ago. And so my videos have been, sorry, my dog is barking. I have been doing that process a lot slower. So please be patient with me.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
I am trying to be patient with myself. I am trying to give myself some time to grieve and mourn the loss of my vision because it really does feel like I am grieving the loss of my vision. It's like losing a limb. It's losing your eyesight is losing some basic function that everybody has that you don't have anymore. And there's just really no other way to explain it other than it's just terrifying. The whole thing for me is just terrifying. And if you feel this way, I just want you to know you are not alone. I am right there with you. If you are struggling, if you are stressed, if you want to shut down and lay in bed for months, I feel you. I feel you hard right now. Like I do too. I want to shut down, but I can't. And I want to fight, and I want to keep going, and I want to help my family adjust, and I want to help myself adjust, and I want to stay hopeful. I want to hope that I am going to get my vision back. I really do hope that I get some vision back, and I have it for a few more years before I have to face this huge hurdle. But I don't know that that's possible. I might lose it in a couple months completely. And if I do, I will be here telling you all about it. And I hope that you guys will be here to listen and support me. And know that I am here to support you.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
And if you have questions or comments or just want to say anything, please, please, please don't be afraid to reach out to me. You can do it in the comments below. You can send me a DM on Instagram or Facebook. I try to respond to them, although I'm not always good with it right now because I am having a hard time seeing my phone. So that is kind of few and far between. If you join my Patreon, you can reach out to me on the community and I will answer every single message on my Patreon that you send. That will never change. You can find my Patreon at patreon.com/JessConstantino. If you'd like to subscribe there, that would be greatly appreciated. It would also give you extra bonus content, and you could help me figure out how to pay all of my medical bills because I have had a lot of surgeries in the last few months, and I am having another huge surgery in another couple months, and my medical bills are skyrocketing. I don't know how I'm going to pay for any of it, but I will find a way somehow. But if you want to donate to my Patreon, I would be ever so appreciative. And it would help me and Cooper go a long way. You will get access to bonus material no one else will. You'll get announcements before everyone else. You will be a part of my Blue Jay community, which would just be terrific to be able to share more of my life with you guys. And if you like this video, I hope you will leave it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please, please, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see some shorts, you can check out my JessConstantino Shorts channel. All of that will be in the description below. Also, you can find my Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter all on the description. And that will give you a little extra bonus material. You can see how Cooper and I are doing throughout our weeks. Different things that you don't get to see on my YouTube channel. So all of that is in the description below if you would like to get links to any of that. And if nothing else, I hope you guys have a great day. Stay positive, keep smiling, and be grateful for every day that you have your vision, and be grateful for every day we have. That's all we can do. I feel totally blessed that I have had my vision this long. I was told that I would lose my vision 15 years ago, and I have kept it for 15 years, and I feel blessed every single day that I have had it. Even though I'm terrified, that hasn't gone away. I still feel blessed. I still feel blessed that I have it right now. And so I want you guys to feel blessed and loved, and know that I love you, and I so appreciate each and every one of you. You guys make my heart happy, and I'm very, very, very appreciative to every single one of you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you got something out of it. Take care, everyone. Love you guys.
Pineapple Production, yeah!